Things off with our post-primary election coverage and the race that's getting the most attention, the governor's race, of course. The candidates include 6 Democrats and 2 Republicans, including a former attorney general, a businessman, and a sheriff. Initial results show Republican Steve Hilton leading the race, with Democrat Javier Becerra in close second, followed by Democrat Tom Steyer, with Republican Chad Bianco trailing behind that. Only 2 will go to the general election in November. Democrats Katie Porter and Matt Mahan conceded in the race last night within an hour or so of the polls closing. Now, one of the 2 candidates who make to the November ballot will represent more than 39 million Californians and take over the world's 4th largest economy. And just wrapping up at the state capitol, a press conference held by candidate Steve Hilton. That's where we find your reporter, Steve Large. Steve, what did Hilton have to say about the lead so far?
Yeah, Steve Hilton speaking here on the West Steps at this podium. He just walked away saying that he was not declaring victory, but it says at this point he does not believe that the numbers will allow him to be bumped out of the top 2 with where they're at right now. We have some videos showing you Steve Hilton arriving here at the Capitol. Also some video of the other top 2 candidate, Javier Becerra, from last night. Becerra's message to his supporters last night is that he is living the California dream. Hilton saying that he announced this press conference on the West Steps of the Capitol as the numbers were still coming in last night. Here's just some of what he said today.
As I said at the beginning, we're not taking a break at all. Not 1 minute. We barely slept, but we're here because it's urgent. It's urgent that we take this state in a new direction. People want change. Change is coming, and the campaign for change starts today. Thank you very much.
I asked Steve Hilton if his campaign had any mathematical calculations on when he might declare a victory. He said that he was going to be waiting for all the ballots to be counted and for those votes to be certified, which could take, as we know, many weeks. But as we stand here right now, just hours after those polls have closed, he's in that number 1 position, Javier number 2. And then we also have Tom Steyer in that number 3 position. He said last night to his supporters at his watch party that he was not out of the race. He believes that they have momentum and that as these ballots continue to be counted, those Democratic votes could put him in the top 2. So still too close to call at this hour, but Steve Hilton very confident here on the West Steps of the Capitol this afternoon.
Yeah, we still have a couple more weeks before we can actually call it at this point. But all right, Steve, live at the state capitol for us. Thanks so much. Now to the congressional races that we are keeping a close eye on. Democrats are hoping voter-approved Prop 50 maps will solidify their control in the state capitol. One of the redrawn districts that's up for grabs at this point is District 6. This is where the race stands right now as of this morning. Kevin Kiley is in the lead with 26.8%. The district covers parts of eastern Yolo County, cuts through northern Sacramento County into Natomas, and up I-80 into Placer County. After Prop 50 passed, Representative Kevin Kiley left the Republican Party and then ran as an independent for District 6. He's now hoping to get support in the newly Democratic-leaning district after voters from his more conservative district were split up.
I represent, large parts of this new district already, I think around 40% of it. And the other communities that are new to me really aren't that new to me.
People deserve to see their representative, and even if we don't agree with them, we have to listen to their opinions, their needs, and be ready to represent them as well.
Now, there were 7 candidates vying for the top 2 spots in November's general election. 5 Democrats, a Republican, and an independent. Heading north now to District 1, it currently stretches from Yuba Sutter region to the Oregon border. For years, voters there were represented by Congressman Doug LaMalfa, and he died back in January, leaving his seat empty. There were 2 elections in District 1 last night, one for who will represent the region through November, and another that will fill the seat for the next 2 years after that. Here's a look at where things stand for that unexpired term. CBS News projects Republican Assemblymember James Gallagher has won the race. LaMalfa was actually a political mentor and friend to Gallagher. Both have grew up in farming towns and have a farming background and represent rural areas. Gallagher originally wasn't sure if he would run for that position, but says that he decided to do it after prayers and positive feedback from voters. And we're tracking the results for all of those races, and we'll have more on the governor's race coming up in our newscasts at 4:30, 5, and 6 o'clock this evening. But for the latest updates, you can also head to our website, cbs13.com, and always streaming as CBS News Sacramento.